angels willing to hold us in their arms. When our worth of stone, our ashes, and we both passed on. Let forever mean forever and carry on.
Good afternoon. So I had to restart Wirecast actually because the virtual camera output was not functioning properly. So, and that's what I feed into OBS, so that way I can stream out on both DLive and YouTube and Facebook. I need to retry streaming to DLive again directly from Wirecast, and then maybe I can completely eliminate OBS because I couldn't before because they had something jacked up in their stuff. For whatever reason, Wirecast just wouldn't do it for DLive. So maybe it will now. I don't know. But anyway, so that's why I was a couple minutes late. I actually had to restart the software. Oh my goodness. Wow, where to even begin? I'm shocked. I'm shocked that the Democrats got the House partially. Partially. The reason I say partially is because it always goes back and forth. For the most part, it always goes back and forth. Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican. And, it's like the voters never learn. They just keep going, it's like, hey, there's a third choice or fourth choice, sometimes a fifth choice, and they don't see it. It's got to be blue or it's got to be red. And that's why I'm so hard on these partisan folks, because they cannot get their mind unwrapped from a color, literally a color. Folks, it's the oldest trick in the book, right? Make something so simple to associate. That's all they got to do. That's all they got to do. And they push red and blue in your face nonstop. You don't even realize there's a green, a yellow, an orange, whatever. Well, that's Trump. But you don't even realize that the other options that are out there. And then when you do, and even if you speak up and say, oh, I'm thinking about voting for this third-party candidate, then you've got both Democrats and Republicans both coming at you and saying, oh, well, that's a vote for the other guy. And I went through that yesterday. And my attitude with that still stands. If you tell somebody, if you're a Democrat or you're a Republican, and you tell somebody, if you advise against voting third party and you tell that person it's just a vote for the other guy or woman, then you need to please take that ballot, shove it so far up your ass that you choke to death on it. That's exactly what you need to do. Because you have attacked what the entire idea of voting is about. You have. You totally missed the whole point of having elections. The whole point. So my point still stands on that. Now, I don't know exactly what happened last night as far as the Democrats taking back control of the House. I don't know if people were more sick of the Republicans' crap or what. I was sick of the Democrats' crap. But, the Republicans for the last 2 years have been extremely pompous. They have been extremely overbearing with their ideology, right? And so I'm going to ask some questions. Number one, was the wall built? I don't want to hear, they're just spent, X amount of $1 billion or what. I don't want to hear that. Was the wall built? Yes or no? Is it there? Is it standing? 2 years, folks. Is the wall there? No. No. And it looks like they might have just gotten a start on it. But now the Democrats are back in the House. Or control the House, I should say. Hillary in jail? No? Okay. How about the Patriot Act? Is that still... Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. Trump signed that himself. Smith-Munn Act? Hasn't been reenacted? Real ID Act, has it been repealed? No? Okay, well, how about Obamacare? Is it gone? No? Interesting. National debt. Do we owe more than ever in the history of this country right now? Oh, we do? Starting to see why I get an attitude about the absolute ignorance behind this ritual. Because that's what it is. It's absolute ignorance. We see it every 2 years. Every 2 years, we go through this. And that's why I've lost my shit this year. We are out of time. If we were Turkey, the little stupid red thing would have been popped out a long time ago. We are done. But people still want to play with their crayons. Specifically the red and blue ones. It's insane. It's insane. So anyway, it is what it is. I'm glad to see that Claire McCaskill is out. Congratulations, Missouri. You got rid of a complete and utter scumbag. That's a good thing. Congratulations to the state of Michigan for recreational marijuana. Congratulations again to the state of Missouri for medical marijuana. Shame on Illinois for fat boy, no toilet man. My God. I mean, I know it wasn't, my dream would have been Cash Jackson. Right? But I mean, I'm not a fool. I knew that wasn't going to happen. Still support the guy. Still think he's an awesome guy. But I'm in touch with reality as well. So essentially, you had Ronner and Pritzker. And I guess if you were holding a gun to my head, making me forcing me to make a choice between Ronner or Pritzker, or you'd shoot me in the head, I would just make sure that their aim was very judicious. I couldn't choose. But in all reality, if death was not my choice between that, I would have had to. I'm just going to be straight here. I'm going to have to go with Pritzker. I'd have had to. We already seen Ronner. I mean, my God. No need worrying about a Democrat being in office. Shit. Ronner was a red Democrat. So, what are you going to do? Except wait until Pritzker gets sentenced. Right? Because I'm sure it's going to come. It is what it is. My hope is that someday enough of we the people wake up. But I don't think we've got time. I think our time is up. And I think there's several things that lead to that time being up. I don't think it's just a corrupt government. I think there's several things. So anyway, I Other news, I about got all the lights on my bike. Normally, when we get packages, we get them like a little earlier than our regular mail, but it wasn't our normal mail person today, so we got our mail actually later than normal. And I was waiting for the side marker lights to get in. They came in. I've got the front side marker lights on mine. I've got to get the tail lights on it, and then it's done. Then mine is completely done, the lights on it. Thank God. It's been like a really long project. And then I've got Jen's bike to even start on. I haven't started on the lights on her bike yet. But it's nothing but a thing now that I've got all the components here. And then once I have both our bikes done, then I'll move on to the trailers and get those lighted out. So I think going pretty good with it. So that's kind of where we are with that right now. Trying to think. Thought there was some. Oh, and then the only other thing at all that I'm interested in doing when it comes to the bikes is they've got some little bike computers for like $13 and some odd cents that I'd like to put on them. Mainly because when I'm riding with Jen, I want to be able to throw a speed at her and have her try to target that speed so we can keep a steady momentum going. She's not quite used to driving like that. She's not driven a car or anything like that, so it's a little more getting used to for her to travel at a steady pace. So I figure that will really, really help her, is if she's got a speedometer essentially that she can look down at and say, okay, well, I need to adjust my speed up or down, or something that she can help her get used to it. Because hey, I mean, all of us at one time or another had to drive for the first time, and it's different than driving a mobility scooter. You know what I mean? It's much different. It's actually much faster. It's much much more reactive in many ways. So I get it. So I figured that'd help her out. I know she doesn't feel comfortable driving too fast. I don't want her driving too fast. I don't want to scrape her up off the ground. I just don't want to do that. Well, no, you tipped over once. You tipped over. That's different. When we were coming down that hill that one day and got up to about 14 mile an hour, I use an app on my phone, and got up to about 14 mile an hour going down a hill. And they'll go faster than that. They'll do about 28 mile an hour. But Jen doesn't, she's not comfortable with that. So, but that's her top speed, was 14 something. And as she's going down the hill, I seen her starting to kind of edge over close to the curb, and man, I was cringing because I knew what would happen if that front tire hit that curb. I was cringing. That concerned me. So I really want to be able to put these cheap little computer things on there, speedometers essentially, but they do distance and other stuff too. But I want to put them on there so that I can tell her, hey, 10 mile an hour, and she can get used to that. She can get used to the feel of it, stuff like that. We take for granted, those of us that have drove motor vehicles for any length of time. We take for granted getting used to that feeling. Plus, if you get in a sports car versus a pickup truck, your two speeds are going to feel different anyway, even with that. So, because it always feels much faster when you're sitting lower to the ground. So, and when you're on a bike, when you get up, I enjoy going as fast as the bike can go, and like I say, that's about 28 mile an hour. But on a bicycle, getting up that speed, it gets a little bit nervous. But it like I say, it is what it is. So anyway, and I've got other stuff I got to do with Jen's bike. I want to put some steps on it to help her get up on it a little bit better. Essentially, I want to get it to where she can mount and dismount her bike completely on her own. That I don't have to help her leg over or anything like that. That she can do it completely on her own. That is my goal. Being able to do that and keep her pedals, that's going to be a hard task to do. So I'm probably over the winter. One of the things on my list to get is one of those cheap welders, one of those $80 welders, little cheap MIG welders. They work. They work, and if you're used to working with machinery and stuff like that, you can typically get them to work at least at least good enough to weld with. But anyway, in order to find a spot that would provide enough support for a set of steps, the only real spot that I know of for that is where the pedals go. So I will probably take there. It's a 3-piece crank set. So what I'll do is I'll probably take off the cranks and the pedals and leave the shaft in there, and then use that shaft just as a little nub or whatever to be able to ride on. So as long as whatever I built was built to where it wouldn't split apart and go around those, then it'll work great for to hold it up. Anyway, I've got a few ideas in my head, and I'll probably work on that this winter. Again, I got to get that welder first, because I want to do this out of not a thin metal, but I want to do it out of a metal, unless I can come up with something else. I don't know how to TIG weld. I've never TIG welded. I don't have TIG welding equipment, so I can't do it out of aluminum. I really don't like to braze. I know how to braze. I really don't care to braze. So we'll see. I mean, I might be able to come up with something else as well. So some type of a plastic or something would be ideal. Or if I can find something aluminum and build it with sheets and 90-degree angle pieces or something like that, I'll figure it out. I'll get something worked out. Actually built a pretty cool little taillight mount for my bike out of a sign. It wasn't technically a political yard sign, but it was a yard sign, which is it turned out pretty good. It looks pretty cool. I'm getting ready to mount lights on it after I get done with the monologue, start videos and stuff. I'll be mounting the lights on it, and then it kind of just slips up in place in the back of my the back rack on my bike. So anyway, man, been going on 24 minutes about just nothingness. So it is what it is. We've got a lot of stupid stuff in the news today, folks. A lot of really, really, really stupid stuff. So let's go ahead and let's get through the financial stuff, and then we'll get to the ignorant stuff. Okay, so we're setting at $2.04 on YouTube. Yeah, we're rich, right? Google AdSense, of course, we're at $49.66. That should change here in about 4 days or so. And for those that don't know, and all of you probably already do, the goal is to meet our $100 threshold, and then we're going to cash out. Once we cash out, then we're going to cancel a Google AdSense account completely and totally demonetize the YouTube channel. So however it is that we make up to that balance, whether it be $2 a month or whether we get super chats and get it up to $100 quicker, either way, that's what the deal is with that. And once I'm going to do it live on the air, once Google AdSense is demonetized after we've gotten that payment, you'll never hear me mention it again. So yeah. I'm tired of talking about it, so please. Anyway, also on that note, if you're looking for any type of long-term storage food or bug out supplies or any type of cool apparel, flashlights, or if you're a vapor looking for supplies, please check out the watchmannews.com. If you go there, if you don't see a product that we have listed in the products, like if you click on something, if they have a product that you don't see listed here, then just click the banner. If you click this banner, it will still give us credit for the sale regardless of what you buy on their website. So we just get a little kickback from that. You don't have to pay anything more. You get awesome products, and it helps us out a little bit. It's a win-win situation. So anyway, Let's go ahead and get busy with some news, shall we? Girl Scouts sue Boy Scouts over name change to attract girls. Because Boy Scouts just changed to Scouts of America. Now they're being sued by Girl Scouts. Oh my God, it's crazy. Oh, sweet, cool. Thank you very, very much, Evil. Thank you. Let's see. I can't believe this. I really can't believe this. It's, and I'm against this whole girls being in the Boy Scouts thing to begin with, because I don't understand why they need the two. I don't understand why they need, or I don't understand why I should say Boy Scouts need to host girls too. I don't get it. I don't think it's misogynist. I don't think it's I mean, think of all the different organizations out there that are specific to a gender or even to a race, okay, that nobody says anything about. Why in the hell did they have to attack the Boy Scouts? I don't get it. It's okay. You know what? If you got a boys club, that's okay. It's fine. If you got a girls club, that's okay. It's fine. Right? The only way I would see any issues with it at all is if those clubs were specifically aimed, at causing strife with the other one, whether it be a gender thing, whether it be any type of particular club, a special interest or whatnot. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. A surgeon removes woman's kidney during back surgery after mistaking it for cancerous tumor. I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. And there was something scary about this, right? In this article. There was something very scary about this. And you actually have to click on the link here and go to the... quit. You got to actually go to the Fox News article. Because the whole article's not there. But check this out. This is mind-blowing to me. Let me find it here. Here we go. Right here. He does not carry malpractice insurance. The malpractice insurers for Pacheco's or something like that. Primary surgeons, Dr. John Britt and Dr. Jeffrey Kugler, settled for $250,000 apiece, the outlet reported. Folks, you have to have car insurance. You have to have car insurance. You don't have to have malpractice insurance? There is something seriously wrong in this country. As I'm sure many of you know, U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions resigns from the Department of Justice. And I guess Trump asked for his resignation. So it wasn't that he just said, I quit. Trump said, you are going to quit. So he quit. That works, right? Works for me anyway. Get the hell out. Let's see. Dumping the dollar. Iran and South Korea agree cross-currency trade. I'm telling you, I've been warning about this whole thing with South Korea. Once North Korea stopped being, North Korea, once they started talking to South Korea, I'd been warning. So we'll see. We'll continue to see what happens. But I have a feeling that South Korea is not going to be as much of an ally as what they have been in the past. Several reasons for that. Hang on. Gotta have a sip of coffee. So here we go. Coming to a company near you. Drink urine, eat cockroaches. Chinese companies' extreme punishments for missed targets. Right? And by targets, I'm assuming, and I I haven't actually read the article. I'm assuming they mean like rate, like their production. What kind of sales targets. So apparently they're sales associates, and I guess if they don't sell however much, they were being forced to drink urine and eat cockroaches. So I guess they've been jailed, though. 2 of the managers were each jailed for 10 days, while a third received 5 days. I just think it's ridiculous. I really do. U.S. voters re-elect lawmakers facing criminal indictments and corruption charges because why not? Why not? I mean, you'd rather know without a doubt they're a criminal than find out surprisingly, right? But see, if they're on the ballot, guess what? I pretty well consider they're probably a criminal, and if not, they're gonna be. Let's see. 2 can play at that game. Trump threatens Senate probes into Dems as House investigations loom. By the way, I did watch that press conference. Was that not the longest press conference that Trump has ever done yet? I think that was the longest one. I was shocked at how long that was. I didn't get to hear it all. I was back and forth, mainly in the back, working, so I actually just caught bits and pieces of it here. But what I did catch of it, his tone was much different, very much different. And I even started calling it his press conference Operation Oh Shit. So planetary torch, Earth's laser technology could be used to lure alien communications, says a study. Oh, bring them on here. I want to go home. LA celebs cough up $60 million for Israel defense funds at gala event. The bleeding heart liberal entertainers. I'm telling you. 2 wings, same bird, no brains. You are a rude, terrible person. Not you guys. Trump said that to Bob Acosta and got into a shouting match with him today. And I missed that part because I was in the kitchen. So, hang on. I want to hear it. I got to hear it. It's my job, right?
One of the statements that you made in the tail end of the campaign in the midterms. Here we go. If you don't mind, Mr. President, that this caravan was an invasion. As you know, Mr. President, I consider it to be an invasion. As you know, Mr. President, the caravan was not an invasion. It's a group of migrants moving up from Central America towards the border with the U.S.
Thank you for telling me that. I appreciate it.
Why did you characterize it as such?
Because I consider it an invasion. You and I have a difference of opinion.
But do you think that you demonized immigrants in this election to try to keep them?
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. They have to come in, Jim, through a process. I want it to be a process, and I want people to come in, and we need the people. Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the people.
Your campaign had an ad showing migrants climbing over walls and so on.
That's true. But they weren't actors.
They're not going to be doing that.
They weren't actors. Well, no, it's true. Do you think they were actors? They weren't actors. They didn't come from Hollywood. Right. These were people. This was an actual. It happened a few days ago. And
they're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President. If I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter, go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not a
like the
big
rest
fan
of
of yours either, so
I understand.
To be honest.
So let me ask you a question if I can. You repeatedly said...
You aren't the best.
Mr. President, you repeatedly, over the course of the...
Okay, just sit down, please. Well, when you report fake news, when you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
Mr.
Well, you know, I mean, Fox reports fake news too. So, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, they both do. They both do. It's insane. But that was good. That was good. Let's see. All right, Navy disciplined sailors. Oh, my God. Navy disciplined sailors for LSD ring. That's acid, by the way, for those that didn't know. LSD ring aboard nuclear-powered aircraft carrier. Oh, that's not it. That's not it. It's one thing to work on a nuclear aircraft carrier, right? That's one thing. Because, hell, you could be the guy that swabs the deck, right? You know, I don't know, right? But listen to this. 14 sailors working in the nuclear reactor department. They actually were the ones working on the nuclear reactor, right? 14 of them in a in a drug ring distributing LSD. You cannot make this up. You can't. It's way more absurd than anything I could ever make up. All right. High-speed tantrum. 11-year-old boy leads police on car chase over losing PlayStation game. Oh, this stuff isn't funny, folks. But you either laugh, you cry, or you go postal, or What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I've been trying to wake people up for years, long before I ever even started doing this show. I know there's always been weird, wacky things, right? Since the beginning of time. Okay? No doubt in my mind. But the level of it and the frequency of it today is absurd. Absolutely absurd. Anyway, LSD in a nuclear reactor. Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's going to be it for the monologue. I don't think I can take any more. If you're here for the live show, stick around. We've got plenty more. The stupidity, it just abounds. Anyway, if you're just here for the monologue or you're watching the recording of it, which I seem to rarely ever get put up, thank you very much. As always, God bless you, we love you, and be one with your spirit.